Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm George, and today on the bench, hopefully we've got something that's a fairly simple fix. Today it's a pure digital radio. It's a Legato model, and it's not just a radio, it's a CD player, FM radio, and it does have sockets for auxiliary inputs such as turntable if you're a vinyl fan, or even a cassette deck if you're really retro. The problem we've got with this particular unit is on the back the speaker sockets are actually broken, and there is no way you can get any speaker wires to actually fit in it. So the job today is to actually take the unit to pieces, remove this assembly here and replace it. If I've done my homework correctly, what I have is the correct part, which I got from China, and fairly simple. You just have to find the right type, and hopefully it will be a direct replacement. I'm looking at the sizes and it's close. Whether it's exact, no, it's not exact, but it's close. So hopefully I can make it fit. I haven't tried asking Pure for the spares because I'm cheap. The way we get into these is you have these 4 holes here, and they're very deep. A standard screwdriver won't cut it. They're either not going to fit down the holes, or they're just going to be too short. So I've had to dig out one of my very old long ones. So in we go. Let's just undo the screws. And the aerial socket, maybe? Probably, while I think about it. You've got to take the screws holding the speaker terminal out, haven't you? Because they're also holding it in position. One more in the middle. So, as I was saying, the way to get this off is to, first of all, take out the 4 long screws, and then you have to undo the one in the middle of the auxiliary connectors and also the speaker connectors, and then the back will come off like this. Now, then the front will slide out, and you have to aim this in like that, so that the whole unit can then slide out through the front of this pressed wooden case. So now we have the unit out like this. You could take it apart further if you wanted, but what I can do is I can turn it over. The actual speaker connection terminals are right here. Quickly putting the tip on it and just taking out the 4 connectors, trying not to melt any other wires in the process. Now this may well have lead-free solder on it. It doesn't appear to. There we go. And that's 4 out of 4. So if we look at the back, in fact, rather than mess around like that, I'm going to repair this. And there will be a way of doing it. Okay, so here we are, close up, and I just thought I'd do this in a way that you can see what's going on, to be quite honest. So what have we got? We've got the original socket here. Now, the first step in changing these pins over or changing these clips over, is to take out the clip. I'm going to take out both sides just to show you that it doesn't matter. So there's the two clips out. From underneath, if you push upwards and then push downwards, so if you push upwards and then that way, if you're holding it this way round, you can then lever that forward until it drops into the front section of the hole. That allows you to then turn it over. Just put your finger over where the spring is and pull forward like this, and the whole unit should come out in one go. So if we want to put it back, let's just do the reverse. So it doesn't matter that this is from the other side. You put your spring on the dimple on the back of the catch. You push the spring onto, there's a dimple inside the housing. In fact, if I can show you the dimple in the housing, that is there at the back. You see, I don't know if you can get the lighting, you see the dimple. So there you go. So you can put the spring on the dimple at the back like that, put the spring, or put the dimple of the catch over the spring, push that so that it fits into the socket, then just push straight upwards and it should automatically, under the spring pressure, jump backwards and lock in. Then all you have to do is put the spring clips back in the correct positions, underneath the base, there, like that, and you can push them down and they will fit nice and flat back to where they came from, like that. And then when you go back, they work perfectly. Let's get back to the main video. It's boring sitting here, isn't it, watching me close up? So I've just got to repeat that 4 times and away we go. So that is now repaired with its terminals. Now I could put a bit of plastic along the back, but the other side hasn't got any and there's been none broken off from the frame. So as far as I'm concerned, that will just slide straight back in and should. So now let me just get the solder. And that should be the job done. Let's put this into here for a second, just as a temporary measure. Let's turn it the right way round. And I'm going to get some speakers. I'm going to wire them in before we put it back together, and I'm going to test the unit.
When Gallagher reports, environmental campaigners have continued to block some roads across the country in protest at what they say is government inaction on climate change. Extinction Rebellion used 5 boats to stop traffic.
Right, okay, so now we've gone handheld and you can see the front, and I thought this would be the easiest way to ensure that you could actually see what was going on. I've put a bit of wire in the back as an aerial, and there's the front end of the set. As you can see, it's looking at BBC Radio 4 on digital radio at the moment. I can, I believe, if I push the front, I can select other stations. We'll go to TalkSport and we'll bring the volume up.
So Roma have got to get a move on. So Dave, sporting director Gianluca Petracchi, formerly of Nottingham Forest, as a player, he has said that they are interested.
But let's put in a CD. Put the volume up and see how it behaves with a CD. So it's actually got a pretty good CD player, sound-wise. Let's put that back in. Let's go to FM radio. And let's see if we can...
I make some woman scream. An empty toilet roll. Thanks, Sonia.
So there we go, a nice little compact unit, ready to go, all fixed, all happy, and yeah, I think my daughter will like that. Why don't you watch one of my other videos? It'll appear somewhere up there. That one will be, oh, let me think, what can I show you there? Repairing an old tuner, that'll be similar to this one, if you haven't seen that already. Down here will be one that YouTube chooses for you.